Hey guys, how you guys doing? So we're gonna do this video as we've done before, guys. Remember, I want you guys to take notes on the paper that the substitute teacher should have given you. I want you guys to pause the video whenever I ask you to, and then to show work. And then after you guys showed work, I want you to continue your video and your notes. So today we're gonna be learning about ratios and how they have to do with lines. It doesn't seem there's a connection, but there is. So, what you're going to do is figure out the change of x and y in a line and find the slope of a line. A lot of you guys say, how's this going to work? Well, let's do a little review. Now, a lot of you guys probably have a question about your quizzes. Since I'm not there today, you guys will find out about the quiz either tomorrow or on the block day. So, in order to understand today's lesson, 14.5, yes, there's a typo, guys, on your notes. In order to figure out what slope is, we have to do some review about the coordinate plane. I'm going to breeze through this, guys. I'm going to go pretty quickly. Hopefully you guys will understand. So, let's review. You guys know about number lines. You guys know there's a horizontal number line. You guys know that numbers go left of 0 are negative. Positive numbers go to the right of 0. On a vertical number line, if they're negative, they go down from 0, and positive numbers go up from 0. So, let's review. So I'm going to be talking about certain parts of a coordinate plane. And you guys should know the parts of a coordinate plane. As you guys don't remember, a coordinate plane is basically when two number lines, a horizontal one and a vertical one, cross. These are the parts, and I want you guys to please write these in your notes. The first part is the x-axis, which is the horizontal number line. The second part is the vertical number line, which is the y-axis. The place where they both cross is called the origin. Please, again, write these down. So on a coordinate plane, it divides the coordinate plane, the axes divide the coordinate plane into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, Quadrant 2, Quadrant 3, and Quadrant 4. If you guys need to pause to write all of this down, please press pause. Now, let's review about coordinates. This point A is 4,3. When you look at coordinates, you always do the x-axis first and then the y-axis. Now, the first number is called the x-coordinate, and the second number is called the y-coordinate. So the point that just appeared, point B, the coordinate of point B is, the coordinates for point B are -5, 1. And what you guys need to do is make sure, what you have to make sure that you guys do is that you have to put the B in front of the parentheses and the comma between the two coordinates. Now, what you're going to see is point C now. Point C is at 2, -4. You have to put the C in front. Point D is located at 3, 0. So on the next slide, again, you've done this before. In order to do this, you have to remember x coordinate, x-axis, and y coordinate, y-axis. So if I was going to graph 5, 2, I would look at the x-axis 5, y-axis 2, draw the point, and I'm going to put the letter. So I want you guys to draw these points on the coordinate plane right now. Please press pause now. So hopefully you guys have done this. Point B is right here. Point C is at -1, 5. Point D is right here. Point E is right here. Point F is at the origin. Point G, this is 4, 0. And point H is right here in the y-axis. So now, let's talk about slope. Let's go to the next slide. So, let's look at these 3 line segments. And this is what it says. Look at the following line segments. Which of them would you say has the biggest slope and why? So the question is, what slope? Well, from what I hear in the past, from other kids being introduced to slope, slope is the steepness of a line. I would agree. It's a little more than that, but for the beginners, I would agree. Slope is about steepness. So which one has the biggest slope? Yes, the middle one has the biggest slope. Why? Well, I'm going to say this for now, since we're just starting. The middle one has the biggest slope because it is the most steep. So which one of these has the smallest slope? Yes, the right one does. It's less steep. So the next part is so important. Without referring to the actual length of the line segments, what would you say is the same about them? Different. Well, besides their color, we all know that they're red. What is the same about them? It's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to help you guys out. If you guys look at my clue, I said use the grid lines to help you describe this. To truly understand slope, you have to think of up and down, left and right. So what I'm going to do for each of these line segments is to help me visualize them by drawing triangles. So I want you guys to do the same thing. If possible, use the same colors. Hopefully that helps you visualize it. So looking at this, look at those triangles. What's the same about them? Well, if you guys look closely, let's look at the left one. The green line segment is the horizontal distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 here. The vertical distance of the blue line segment is 2. Let's look at the middle line segment. That horizontal distance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and has a vertical distance of 4. So the next one, the horizontal distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the vertical distance is 1. So if I'm referring to a slope of a line in reference to its horizontal distance and vertical distance, like I've done here, what's same about these line segments is they all have the same horizontal distance. It's all 6. What's different about them? They all have different vertical distances. Okay? So I'm going to write this. They have the same horizontal distance. And I'm going to put that word in quotes because it's not really called distance. So they have different vertical distances. Okay? So, in order to understand slope, you guys have to understand that in order to refer to the slope, you have to make this little triangle, like I just did here. Look at the vertical distance, look at the horizontal distance. That's the key for today's lesson. Now, let's look at the next slide. Which of these line segments, if any, has the biggest slope? Why? Well, it's key. Slope does not matter in how long the line segment is. Nothing. So which one has the most slope? And I want also you guys to think about which one is the most steep. Again, distance of the line segment doesn't matter. In fact, don't they all seem to be around the same steepness? Yes, they all actually have the same slope. All these line segments have the same slope. The length of the red line segments don't matter. So I'm going to say none. None have the biggest slope. I'm going to write this. They are the same. How did I figure that out? Well, I'm going to look at the vertical distance and horizontal distance. So same thing I did before. I'm going to draw little triangles. I want you guys to do the same. Draw triangles from each endpoint. Use the grid lines to help you guys. So it's all about looking at the vertical distance and horizontal distance. Let's count for a small one. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2. On the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the horizontal distance on the next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The vertical distance is 6. As I said before, all the slopes are the same. How did I figure that out? Well, pay very, very close attention. Slope is actually a ratio. It's actually the ratio of the vertical distance compared to a horizontal distance. So if you look at this, look at the smallest line segment. The slope is actually the ratio of the vertical distance of 2 to the horizontal distance of 4. So what ratio is that? 1 to 2. Let's look at the middle line segment. What's the ratio of the vertical distance of 4 to the horizontal distance of 8. What is that equal to? So if you look at it, that simplifies to 1 to 2 also. Let's look at the longest line segment. So the slope is the ratio of the vertical distance of 6 to a horizontal distance of 12. They all have the same ratio of vertical distance and horizontal distance. That's how you figure out slope. The vertical distance compared to the horizontal distance. And that's it. All you have to do is like make triangles, count, make a ratio. That's it. So let's truly use some vocabulary words that you guys need to know and memorize. So slope is the ratio of the vertical change and the horizontal change. From now on, instead of using the word distance, I'm going to use the word change. Slope is the ratio of the vertical change and the horizontal change. Please write everything that I'm going to write now. Another name of slope is the rate of change. So it's just a ratio. So let's say I wanted to write it as a formula. Slope is equal to vertical change to the horizontal change. That's it. Another way to write slope or describe slope is the change of y, because of the y-axis, it goes up and down, which is vertical, over the change of x, which refers to the x-axis, because the x-axis goes horizontal. It's a lot of words to memorize. What do you guys think? So is there a shorter version of writing this and describing slope? Yes, there is. Another way to describe slope is simply rise over run. Rise means going up and down or vertical. Run means going left or right or horizontal. It might seem very confusing right now, but actually pretty easy. If you know how to make a triangle, if you know how to count, if you know how to make a ratio, it all becomes very easy. So let's do that. Let's practice. So let's go to the next slide. I want to find the ratio of slope of the following in simplest form. So if you guys look at the top right-hand corner, slope is the change of y, vertical change, over the change of x, which is the horizontal change. How would I figure that out? So, for number one, I'm going to make a triangle. Actually, I'm going to make a triangle for each one of these right now. Just do that. Make a triangle. Right triangle. Use the grid lines to help you guys out. So, once you made your triangle, you're going to count. So, the vertical is 2, the horizontal is 4. So, slope is a change of y, vertical, over the change of x, the horizontal. So, the slope of this line is 2 to 4, which can be simplified to 1 to 2. And that's it. For number 2, the vertical change is 2, and the horizontal change is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the slope is equal to the vertical change of 2, or the change of y, and the horizontal change, or the change of x, of 7. For number 3, the vertical change is 3, the horizontal change is 1. So slope, change of y is 3, change of x is 1. You can't simplify that any further. So that's the answer. For number 4, the change of y, or the vertical change, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The change of x, or the horizontal change, is also 6. So slope, the vertical change of 6 over the horizontal change of 6, so that's 1 to 1. For number 5, the vertical change is 2, and the horizontal change, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the slope is equal to, the change of y is 2, and the change of x is 6, so that's going to be 1 to 3. For number 6, the vertical change is 8, the horizontal change is 4, so the slope is equal to, change of y is 8, change of x is 4, so that equals 4 to 1. It really doesn't become more difficult than that. So for the next ones, they're just as simple. They're just dealing with lines, not line segments. So let's go to the next slide. So a line is just a line segment that goes on forever. So what you need to do to figure its slope is figure out the change in y and the change of x, just between 2 points. Now in this example, they drew a triangle a little differently, but you could have drawn a triangle like this. So its vertical change is 3, its horizontal change is 2. So the change in y, vertical change, is 3. Change in x, horizontal change, is 2. So the slope is 3 to 2. Hopefully that wasn't too difficult. Let's go to the next example. So again, for 1 and 2, in order to figure out slope, to mentally help you guys out, make the triangle between the 2 points given. So the vertical change is 4, the horizontal change is 3. The change in y, the vertical change is 4. The change in x is the horizontal change, which is 3. Number 2, draw the triangle. The vertical change is 3. The horizontal change is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the change in y is 3. The change in x is 6. So if I simplify that, it becomes 1 to 2. So let's try to do 3 and 4. I want you guys to do this on your own. Please press pause now. Okay, guys, so you guys should have done these. Hopefully you guys made a triangle. Change of y is 2. Change of x is 5. So the change in y is 2. Change of x is 5. For number 4, make the triangle. The change in y is 3. The change of x is 1. So it just becomes 3 to 1. We're almost done, guys. And lastly, so what we're going to be doing is interpreting a slope using a table. It's hours x to earnings y. So I've kind of helped you guys out. What you're supposed to do is draw a line using that information, in which the x-axis is the hours, and the y-axis is the earnings. In dollars. So if you work 2 hours, you get $10. If you work 4 hours, you get $20. If you work 6 hours, you get $30, so on and so forth. So what I want you guys to do is copy the graph I just did, meaning the line, and you should have 210, 420, 630, 840, 1050. Notice that my scale on the x-axis is in ones. Notice the scale of my y-axis is in tens. So that's part A. You're supposed to draw the points. It helps to write the coordinates. And then draw the line. That's part A. Part B says this. Choose any 2 points to find the slope of the line. So I'm going to pick these 2 points right here. I'm going to make the triangle. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did previously. So I'm going to have to find a change in y, the vertical change. However, if I look at my triangle, the distance is not 2 because my scale on my y-axis is by tens. So how do you get from 20 to 10, 20 to 30? The vertical change is actually 10. What's my horizontal change? It's actually 2. From 4 to 6, it's 2. So my change in y is 10. My change in x is 2. That simplifies to 5 to 1. Alright guys, that's it. Hopefully you guys got it. Go ahead and get the homework from the substitute teacher. I want you guys to pay very, very close attention to the details of the notes because I'll be asking you guys a ton of questions tomorrow. Alright guys, see you guys tomorrow.